The following series of 4 classes on October 7th, about October 7th Revisited, are sponsored by Rina Shalamet Basar Yocheved and by Yudis Malia Basar Yocheved, 2 exceptionally special young women who are looking for their zivug Hagun Bakarov. If you want to get a zivug with someone who's outstanding in all areas, midas, personality, Yerushalayim, this is the place to look. I'd like to speak today about a question they asked me. How does October 7th fit with the fact that Hashem has infinite rachamim? My Talmud who fought in Gaza told me that what the Arabs did on October 7th makes the Nazis look like saints. What took place was a new level of brutality that has never existed before. How can we reconcile this with Hashem's infinite rachamim, His infinite mercy? So let's try to understand this based on Kabbalistic teachings. The 2 spheres of Netzach and Hod are very hard to understand. Rav Chaim Friedlander explains in his introduction to the very, very deep Sefer Adar Moram of the Ramchal that Netzach is the din in the chesed. It takes out the judgment from the goodness. And Hod is the chesed in the din. It puts some chesed into the din. These 2 attributes are used precisely, and often when it's a very difficult situation, right, one doesn't know how they're being applied. On this plane, right, Tiferes, which is Rachamim, it's not mercy, and neither is Netzach and Hod. All of these attributes are being used to synthesize, to balance out how much din is being there and how much chesed. Sometimes there's more din and sometimes there's more chesed. We never know. This is Hashem's choice, depending on His infinite wisdom and understanding. If Hashem would focus on din alone, we would be finished. This is the reason why the Gra explains that it's very important when we daven for rachamim, because that is the only way we could be answered. If we ask to be answered on merit, we do not have merit. We are very, very lacking. We're all in the red. We ask Hashem to have rachamim on us, and we ask Him to overlook din as much as possible. And this is why so many times during Aseret Yemei Tshuva, we say over and over again, Yud Gimel Midas HaRachamim. We want Hashem to be ma'avar al midosav, to go over the transgressions, to look over them based on the way that we act, and based on the way that we turn to Him. My friends, October 7th shook us all up. It shook us all up. On Simchas Torah, our dancing became dirge. I myself, on that day, was standing on my pesach, passionately singing the Hallel. And when I got up to the line, Kol Goyim Savavuni B'Shem Hashem Ekra, I heard the sirens. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't know what was happening. But Rav Moshe Sternbach had already paskened for us that even if terrible things happen on Simchas Torah, we must continue dancing. This is going to show our emunah and our strength and our belief in Hashem, that no matter what happens, we will not falter in our emunah towards Him. How can we understand Hashem's infinite rachamim in the face of these terrible incidents? The answer is that rachamim is the balance of din and the balance of chesed. Sometimes we see more din, and sometimes we see more chesed. Sometimes we see strict judgment, and sometimes we see divine goodness. Right? Both cases, in all instances, we're supposed to recognize this is Hashem's hands, and that kol ma da'avid rachmana l'tav avid. While we're not going to have the audacity to say that about October 7th, the death of so many people, but we all know in our hearts the ways of Hashem are perfect. Hatzor tamim poilo v'kol jachav mishpat. His ways are perfect, but there is mishpat and there's judgment. And in order to connect to Hashem's infinite rachamim, we have to work. We have to ask for it, and we have to turn to it. We have to use the Yud Gimel Midas of Rachamim, and we have to daven from the bottom of our hearts. We all daven that the hostages who are being tortured in Gaza, they should be freed soon. We all daven that all those people in north of Israel who've been displaced by their homes should be able to get back soon. We all daven that all the soldiers should be protected from all the dangers of vicious enemies who want to kill us and want to destroy us. This is what we're doing in these days. And this is our avoda This is our test. To connect to Hashem's infinite rachamim, even when we don't see it. The Chasam Sofer brilliantly explains. The Pasuk in Shmo says, Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu his back, but not his front. Says the Chasam Sofer. That the back means looking at Hashem retrospectively, not forward. The front means seeing Hashem in the future. We don't see Hashem's ways. We don't see Hashem's good ways in the future. We only see them in the past. We can only understand them based on things that have already happened in retrospect, in light of the backdrop of everything else that's going on. This is the way Hashem has decided to create and run the world, His infinite wisdom. And this is to raise our level of emunah, that even when things look terrible, even October 7th, no matter what happens, the Holocaust, the Inquisition, the Crusades, the Chorban Beis HaMikdash, Rishon and Sheni, pogroms, all of the tribulations that we've gone throughout the generations, we should not falter in our emunah. And Jews have died, screaming Shema Yisrael, walking into the gas chambers, singing with emunah to Hashem. Ani Ma'amin, b'emunah shlema, b'bias Mashiach, b'afal pishi yivnichak, afal pishi yismameya. Even though it's taking a long time, nonetheless, im kol zeh achakelo, I will not give up. I will not stop my passionate desire for Mashiach to come. Hashem should help all of us, and especially Rina Shalamis, Basar Yocheved, and Yehudis Malya, Basar Yocheved. These two young women should find their Zivug Hagun Bakarov. Please daven for them. And if you know of some really, really top boys, send us their resume, and maybe you'll be zoche to a shidduch with one of them. Hashem should help us. Amen. Kain Tiratzah.